some lines for you. Alright, so one thing I like to show people with Zach, and it's probably the best visual for this, is I'm going to see that black logo on Zach's hat? See how it's gone now? Okay. I'm going to show you with the effect of having your hip sways and your shoulder sways lined up in the backswing has on creating a good and consistent low point. And remember, low point is we're talking about having our low point in front of the ball so that we can hit down on hit ball first. So that black logo is covered up, right? We know that Zach is going to start straightening up his leg, getting his hip rotating back so that his chest and his hips can close to the target, which is not something you struggle with. You close your turns well. So what we're going to see is he does those things, closes his turns completely while staying in front of that yellow line and without moving his head. Also, without skipping it, we like to see a little shaft lean kind of going into that left shoulder that indicates a good ball position. His ball position is kind of off his left ear, just forward of center. Good spot for a 7-iron. So when we take it back, we're going to see him start to straighten up that trail leg, and we'll see this leg going down, so it's kind of that relationship. We know that feel. He's going to do all that while staying in front of this yellow line all the way to the top of the swing. And now that we're up here, I want you to tell me if you can see that logo on his hat. Right. So he has managed to close his turns 90 degrees and 45 with his hips without sliding away at all, and while maintaining the very small logo on his hat without moving it an inch. So that is going to be really important whenever you're talking about hitting a ball that's not moving at all either, and hitting the ball first and then the ground. He essentially what he's done is he's maximized his turns without sliding off. It's the goal of his backswing: maximize turns, maintain position. So where we struggle, we'll see that our hip sway and our shoulder sways are at 0. Well, that's a terrible line. There's our low point. Now, as we take the club back, we want to see this leg straighten up, that one bend down. We really don't see that. You manage to turn, but we don't get a lot of knee changing places, and we start to see ourselves move away a little bit at the top of our swing. So we're doing pretty good to here. We know we don't get the tilt we need, but see how we're still towards? You're actually a little bit leaning towards. Also, can you see how that shoulder is moving that way instead of down? That's where we talk about shoulder tilt, but we're going to talk about sway here. So at the top of our swing,
Really far back.
correct. So we don't go crazy back with our hips, but you can see our shoulder sway is moving a full 1.5 inches. Well, actually, the shoulder sway says 0.4. It does say 1.5 inches with your hips, so that's going to be a big. If your hips are moving off, your shoulders are going to. That's why we see your head move way outside the circle. It's also now where our low point is. So when you're coming down, right, you're either going to hit the ground there, or, like in your case, because we're tilting a lot, you're going to catch it on the way up. You're going to catch the top of the ball. So we now know that we know why we're hitting a lot of hooks, and we know why when we don't make the contact, we want it's either behind it or trimming the top. And that's what we'll see here. Now what we see with Zach, I'm going to